So, hello viewers, and welcome to this new BFDI What If. What if Team Bleh lost and BFB won? How much will change? Well, let's begin. While in the original episode, Team Minus lost, of course, Team Bleh will have to lose this time because, it's a what if. Alright, so for the elimination, who'd be the first one safe? Well, that'd be, of course, Ice Cube. Up until early BFB, Ice Cube always was one of the first ones safe because she just didn't do anything wrong and was just bland and didn't do anything, which caused not many people to give her attention to give her attention, and that made her fly under the radar completely. Next one safe is Teardrop. Again, just like Ice Cube, she didn't do anything wrong this episode and just didn't do anything. She's just been bland. And that's why she's safe. Next one safe is Book. Of course, because of the FDIA, she'd have fans, which would make her third one safe. Next one safe would definitely be Saw. Sure, while we may not know much about her from just episode 1, she doesn't do anything very controversial, and she's just there, and that would make people save her. Same with Katie, so she's saved next. Okay, so we finally received a small increase in votes. It's not very large, but it's notable. So, next one safe is Taco. But why did she get an increase in the votes? Well, she was the reason she made her team go in the lava to search for the basket, and that would probably make people think she's got a bossy attitude, and that would make her get enough votes to be on the bottom 3, but that wouldn't be enough to make her bottom 2. Alright, so this leaves it to the non-object and the rudest one. Again, Dora's a non-object, the reason they voted her out in BFDIA, and Lollipop is just, well, she's been flat out mean for the entire episode. I think it'd be a bit close, but considering how we saw Lollipop in BFDIA, and Dora's a non-object, which would immediately cause people to vote her for some reason, I think that Lollipop barely survives. Yeah, sorry, Dora supporters. She's eliminated. Now it's time for BFB 2. I don't think anything would change, and just Saw would find her way out of this. So, yeah. Team Beep still loses and Leafy gets out, so we can move on to episode 3, where more interesting things happen. So, here comes BFB 3. So, as you may remember, Team Bleh almost lost this episode. And I think it stayed the same thing here. Team Ice Cube loses again. Loses this time. But remember, in this episode, Book started the Book Taco thing. Like, the thing about Taco abandoning her. So, yeah, this will change a lot of stuff in the future episodes. So let's continue since, Bracelety still gets eliminated. Okay, so you're going to see a bit of a recurring theme here, just, nothing happening. So Teardrop again does the drawing and just shows it to 4. And Team Bleh wins. And Death Pact will be up for elimination. And Lie will get eliminated. Same thing with episode 5. Team Beep goes up for elimination and Roboti gets out. And in this episode 6, even with a better name than that, and Bless stuck on the moon, the losers would still lose, and loser would leave. Again, no change. AB, a better name than that loses, the ball gets out. But now we see our first change. Remember how Pencil is still here? Well, she joined Match and Snowball and would torment Bubble, which would just, cause her to get even more stressed. I think that seeing this, Sleepy would decide not to cheat and actually compete, and they'd win. So, Ians is up for elimination. Now, let's just see that. So for the elimination, I think the first one safe would be Bubble. Sure, she may have caused them to lose, but I think people wouldn't vote her out of pity. So yeah, she's the first one safe. Okay, next one safe are Lightning, Ruby, and Flower because they haven't done anything. They're just bland and having done just they just again fly under the radar. Now it's down to the bottom four. We've reached an increase in votes. But next one safe is Fanny. She only received more votes because of the remaining Free Smart fans would vote for her. So yeah, she'd still be safe. The bottom three would be the people who would put pressure on Bubble, Match, Pencil, and Snowball, and we see another increase in votes. But I think Match would survive considering most of the voters would probably vote Pencil, and the ones that don't loathe Free Smart would vote for Snowball. So Match survives. Yeah, we obviously know who survives. It's Snowball, no doubt. Pencil had already been carrying haters from BFDIA, and just her recent actions in BFB just no. Now for BFB 9, yeah, everything stays the same. Team Beat loses and David gets out. In episode 10, we have our first real change. It's debut time, and since there are different people in the exit, well, these results should be different. Alright, so we begin this elimination completely discarding Robati. Yeah, if he's not relevant now, he was not relevant before, and he's probably the most unpopular character in the entire series, so yeah, bye Robati. Just like in the original episode, 8 Ball and David are not rejoining either. They just barely have had any screen time and are just there. Next is Dora. Even if she was the first one eliminated, that wouldn't be enough to get her more votes than this. And yeah. Next is Pencil. I think the only reason Pencil even managed to get the third most votes in the original episode was because she was the first one eliminated, and usually when you're the first one out, people try to vote for you, but she wasn't the first one out this time, so yeah. Now there's a huge leap in votes, and Lai then Bracelety, well, probably they're both interchangeable, are the next ones to not get in, probably because they're just not as popular as the other two. Now it's down to Leafy and Loser. Leafy is here because she's extremely popular, and Loser is here because, well, the only reason they voted him out was to see how his team would do without him. But yeah, we all know who rejoins. And that is Leafy. Her popularity combined with the unfinished Dark with Fiery would give her enough votes to rejoin. And it'd probably be a landslide like in the original episode too. So now it's time for BFB 11. In this episode, there's a major change. You may remember that Ions was up for elimination in episode 6. This would mean that Stevie would still be here and that Foldy wouldn't get vengeful. This means that Flower is able to press the button and just Pius is slow and makes Death Pact lose. So yeah. Alright, so I think that Remote would be the first one safe. I think that people would value her actually trying to win instead of trying to prevent death, and that would bring her to the least voted contestant. Followed by Pen because of his extreme popularity. Next is Trey because he hasn't really done anything wrong. Okay, next I think that Pillow would actually survive. I know a lot of you put her in the bottom tube if this elimination happens, but hear this. Okay, so while Pillow may have been inconsistent, she basically was one of the contestants who had the fewest screen time and would fly under the radar extremely. There were also very few Pillow hitters around this era, so yeah, she's most likely safe. Okay, so this bottom three might be a bit unexpected considering Black Hole is here. But why? But he's of course the next one safe. But why was he even in the bottom three in the first place? Well, let's consider that the two people who made the team lose were him and Pi. Him for not letting Remote lead or anything in Pi because she didn't do anything, and but Black Hole is very popular, and would not be in the bottom 2. In fact, the first 5 safe would probably have interchangeable votes. So yeah. Now we see a very significant leap in votes. The bottom 2, Bottle and Pie. Bottle is here because, people would grow tired of her personality. In fact, we already saw that in BFB 5 when she got a considerably higher amount of votes than Black Hole. And also Pie. She hasn't done anything, got a very popular character at the time, eliminated, and caused her team to lose. Yeah, Pie is out by a landslide. I'm really sorry, Pie fans, but yeah, she's out. Okay, so we now reach episode 12. While you may think that Death Pact would lose because Pie isn't here to point out that Taco killed Tree, but I think Death Pact isn't that stupid and they'd catch on, especially with Black Hole in there. So yeah, Team Ice Cube still loses, and Fiery Jr. gets out. And for episode 13, yeah, again, I highly doubt anything important would change, and Team Bleh is still up for elimination. But, Dora isn't here to get eliminated, so who'd be out? Alright, so the first unsafe are Ice Cube, then Teardrop, for not being very involved in the conflict, being liked, and just flying under the radar. Next safe is Saw. While the 8-gag might attract a few votes, I highly doubt that'd be enough to get her eliminated, since she's got a pretty likable personality. Then the next unsafe would, of course, be Taco. Well, she may get a few more votes than the other 3 because of being in the other side of the arc. She'd definitely be safe. Now, while some people may disagree with me, I think that Book would be the next one safe, considering how she kind of redeemed herself in this episode by basically saving Taco and Ice Cube. Now it's down to Lollipop and Gady. Lollipop is here because of being rude, and Gady is here for being irrelevant. While you may think that this is an obvious pick and getting Lollipop eliminated, I think that Lollipop had a large fan base, so she would be a very controversial character, and her fans would mass vote Gady for being irrelevant. And I think that would be enough to get her out. In the next episode, we'll discuss what would happen in the split, who joined BFB and who joined Teapot. So stay tuned for part 2, where we'll discuss who would stay in BFB, and for part 3, for who would go in Teapot. So yeah, hit the like, subscribe, and hit the notification to stay tuned. So yeah, bye guys, and see you in the next video.